I'm Sherry Cola, and I play Lolo Chen. I was born in Shanghai, and I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley, came to the United States when I was almost 4. So I was really immersed in the 626. That's the area code, like boba at every corner. So I was lucky to kind of grow up around my culture. My mom has a Chinese restaurant that she opened when I was in 5th grade. So I'm very about being Asian, you know what I mean? And just finally realizing how long representation has been missing. So being a part of this movie and coming from those roots really means a lot to me. The first time I saw myself represented on screen, I think about Mulan, of course, and Mulan was pretty authentic, but not in the sense of, it was an animated character, it was a cartoon. And I feel like throughout Hollywood, Asians were always depicted as kind of cartoons, right? In terms of caricatures, the long duck dongs, the ling ling, you forgot your bling blings, the fook me, fook yous, you know what I mean? I feel like we were always portrayed as supporting characters, and to finally be a lead is just, I'm still mind blown, and I still can't grasp the fact that this is reality. But there were, representation, there was representation in, phenomenal ways, like Margaret Cho, considering I'm a stand-up comic, watching her be so bold and outspoken and kind of break the stereotypes of the silent Asian woman who doesn't want to rock the boat. Margaret Cho was such a breath of fresh air when I was growing up. And, to now also be a bisexual Asian female stand-up comic, I'm fully inspired by her. I think about movies like Joy Luck Club. That was so iconic and just once in a lifetime, really, because that was in the 90s. And then cut to 25 years later, we get Crazy Rich Asians. And these were, big studio Asian-led films. And neither of those were R-rated comedies. This is an R-rated comedy. We see these Asian leads, and R-rated, to me, R stands for, representation. Refreshing, raunchy, just ridiculously funny. Like, I love that we're existing as unapologetic, raw, flawed human beings that you root for, because you've never seen faces like this on the big screen in this way. This movie is truly for everyone before us and everyone after us. This movie is the first of its kind. Like, period. It has never existed. You know what I mean? Like, every day I look at myself in the mirror, when will my reflection show? And I'm just like, I'm part of something that is gonna be impactful in so many ways. It's gonna teach little Asian girls to, live out loud and be themselves. When I first read the script, I was just blown away that this was being made, Lionsgate, Point Grey, that's Seth Rogen, and the fact that this is Adele Lim's directorial debut, this is such a big moment for the community, So I was just like on cloud 9 that it's real and it exists, and the fact that there are 4 Asian leads that are so different. This is just continuing to prove that we are not a monolith. We can have the same background or culture or come from Asia, etc., but still have different stories to tell and still have different personalities and outlooks on life. I think that's what we've been trying to convince America and once again, Hollywood, that we're all different and, it's not always the same story. All 4 leads have different, points of view and different battles. You know what I mean? Like, all of us have arcs. Like, there was a moment on the way home. There was a moment on the way home when Ashley and I were just, tired and just so grateful. And I was thinking like, wow, every single thing we've filmed is a big moment in the movie. Like, everything we've shot is important. And she was like, I guess this is what it's like to be leads of a movie. You know what I mean? And it's like, in that moment, we realize we've never been in this position of actually being prioritized in this way. It is so hilarious, hysterical. Like, you will be crying, you will be peeing. And at the same time, you'll just be tugged at the heartstrings because, it's about family, it's about friendship, it's about, belonging, it's about who you are, it's about identity, it's about culture, and it's also about sex. You know what I mean? And for us to show all of those layers, and not just be good at math, not just be, a nail technician, like, we've seen all of that. We've seen us in these supporting characters, that don't have a voice, and fully these 4 characters have a voice. I've never felt so liberated, and I've never embraced all of my identities so much and so proudly. I'm an immigrant, I'm female, I'm queer, I'm Asian, all these things that society never rooted for. I see as superpowers now, like, we were brainwashed to think those were weaknesses, but I'm like, no, like, this is what's gonna set me apart. This is why my story is unique, and I'm ready to tell it. So Lolo Chen, so this is her tattoo that says free spirit. I might get this permanently tattooed. That's how much this character means to me, and how much it parallels my life, to be honest. She lives out loud. She's very unapologetic. She's raunchy. She's kind of a loose cannon and outspoken. Things that come out of her mouth are, like, just wild. You know what I mean? And she's so just sexually confident in a sense, but at the same time, there are so many insecurities. She's not where she wants to be in her career. She's an artist, and she's very expressive, and she puts her heart into her work, but she's not ready to show the world. And I think we can all, relate to that. So I think the fact that all these characters have so many layers and are so relatable, like, this is gonna be one of those situations where, there's gonna be a BuzzFeed quiz. You know what I mean? Like, are you a Lolo? Are you a Deadeye? Are you an Audrey? Are you a cat? Because we're so fleshed out, and so specific and unique and just special. All these characters have a story to tell and really have just such a distinct personality, but are also similar at the same time, because they're all, finding themselves and, just trying to belong and, etc. And trying to find friendship. Yeah. The whole process has definitely been really collaborative. It felt like a team sport from day one. And, the writers, producers, director definitely let us improv and bring a lot of ourselves into these characters and into the movie. Like, the amount of times we've just, like, tried to hold in laughter, and the amount of times we've, like, broken in a scene. I can't wait for the gag reel. Just watching movies like Bridesmaids, and seeing, the bloopers for that. I can't wait for the world to see ours, because it is out of this world. Just so funny. This movie is so funny. Like, every single day, the whole joke is Sherry makes a speech every night. Because, just like how I'm talking right now, I've been doing it on set and off set and talking about how this is my favorite movie. This movie is so good. I can't wait to watch this movie. Like, this is gonna blow people away, because once again, it's never been done. And 2, it is just so funny. With the fact that we've never been represented in this way, and we've never been leads in a movie in this way, like, there's almost this special bond of, past traumas, and, like, this light at the end of the tunnel, this combination of, like, we're doing this and we get to do it together, the 4 of us, and I'm so excited for Sabrina. This is their first acting gig, and they're really gonna blow the audience away, because Deadeye, this character, which acts as kind of the glue, it's like the bizarre, like, outlandish character who says the darndest things, but is so perfect. This movie wouldn't be the same without Deadeye. And I can say the same about all of our characters. Audrey, Kat, Lolo, like it is just the perfect recipe of ingredients, for this movie that's the first of its kind. Like I can't wait for the world to see it. Adele told me that she saw me open for Ronnie Chang's Netflix taping, and she was like, "Who's that girl?" Because I've always wanted to work with Adele. Obviously, this is such a massive moment. It's her directorial debut. She wrote Crazy Rich Asians. She wrote Raya and the Last Dragon. These two movies that were so, impactful for our culture. And the fact that this is her directorial debut, and this is my first time being one of the leads of a movie, like the fact that we get to do this new thing together and kind of be collaborative, and like I said, it's always been a team effort from day one.